Hello? How's... Oh, hello everybody. Am I audible? And also, hello Big D. How's it going? Impressive list of games over there. Did you beat them all? Are you talking about the ones on my About page? I think they're just the normal, everyday games I've finished. I believe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I finished all those ones. Yeah, Mad Dog, some of the King's Quest, a couple of Space quests. Yeah. Although technically I haven't beaten Outer's Adventure. I haven't done like a proper. I'm not good. I'm not as good as Bennett's, so I haven't actually finished that game. Yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like I'm cheating because a lot of those games are the ones I've already played in the past, so I'm very familiar with them. We should give him a run for his money. Yes, we should. Now, am I making noise? Can I? I don't know if I can hear the game. So if I... 286, Matt McGrath. Okay, sounds good. I might have to restart. It sounds like something's going on with my virtual box. But yes, I'll get that one for you. Oh, actually, I can't actually hear anything. What's going on? Oh, but yes, McGrath. I will get that page for you. As soon as I figure out why I can't hear anything. Sound settings. Oh, hey Slim Fat, how's it going? I'm currently trying to figure out why I can't hear anything in my headphones. Yeah, I'm good too, apart from being confused about my audio. I'm not a fan of Windows at the moment. Hang on a sec. Ooh. Hey. Oh god. Sorry. I'm not having a good time here. Okay. Is that better? Or, or am I still too loud? So, hey, Racing the Beam. I'm currently trying to debug audio issues. All right. Just got in. You seem fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Repeated Ghosts, and hello, Racing the Beam. Sorry, just debugging a whole bunch of audio issues. Apparently. But okay. First of all, we had a channel redemption. To check out a page from the Art of Point and Click Adventures. So let's check that out now. Page 286, I believe it was. Yes. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so there's not a lot of reading. But all of these are pages from this is art from Gabriel Knight. So we got that one. We got this one. So Gabriel Knight's a game I played like years ago, and I should probably play it on stream. It is a very good game. My beer could be a little louder. Thanks, MZZ. I'll see what I can do. Also, welcome in. It is. Oh, here's another page. So this is essentially the opening screen for Gabriel Knight. You should definitely play it. Everyone should play this game. It's amazing. Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. Unlike other Sierra titles, Jane Jensen's Gabriel Knight has a realistic setting and deals with mature themes such as horror and murder. While there are some inventory-based puzzles, there's a greater focus on detective work. Interrogation and hunting for evidence are required skills in this world of secret societies and murderous cults. The CD-ROM release includes full voice acting from Hollywood stars, including Tim Curry and Mark Hamill, and features an animated intro sequence. There you go, that was the Art of Point and Click with Gabriel Knight. Or is that the other way around? And yeah, so I'll try and quite tone down my beard. 2 pages even, yeah. Oh, I think it was 4 in the end. So what a bargain. About to go to bed, then the Twitch app dinged. Well, thanks. Thanks. Even if you fall asleep and you're lurking, thanks for coming in, Racing the Beam. And I can confirm MZZ has never played a video game ever. Big Dizzy. I don't play games. I don't play games. Conquer them. Yes, exactly. Alright, so. Back to the Future. Oh, I should play that too. I think I've got that in my Steam account. Like, some of the Telltale games are really hard to get a hold of. Yeah. Oh, hey, streamer. Welcome in. Love the shirt. Thank you. Thank you. I should probably do some shoutouts. Assuming they all work. So my bot sometimes temperamental. Hooray, that one worked. Definitely check out the streamer. I first started watching her when she was working her way through King's Quest 3, which is a game she grew up with. And she occasionally goes back to her adventure game roots. Check out Big D if you want some random retros, or Back to the Future at the moment. Check out Repeated Ghosts if you're into like sort of 3D modeling or Baldur's Gate 3 expertise. Check out MCZ if you want to see someone play lots of allegedly bad DOS games. And have I forgotten anyone? Probably. Because I always forget, because I don't think Slimpat streams. I don't think Racing the Beam streams, but I'll give you some shoutouts anyway. No Game. There you go. They're They're famous no game streamers. Not streamed yet. Well, there you go. Give Slimfat a follow, just in case he streams. And I think that'll work out well for everybody. Oh yeah, and Matt McGrath, since you also... Oh, okay. Don't know what happened there, but apparently I'm shouting at myself. How far can we get in this influential detective adventure? Oh yeah, that's a lot of cool emotes. Commander Kizizi. I would play that. And I'm just... GG on having good emotes so quick. Oh, thanks, MZZ. I always knew I wanted like a whole bunch of dog emotes. So that was the easy part. Not sure about the rest, but we'll see. Is this book based on Terry Pratchett's books? Yeah. It's not this. So the first two Discworld games, they are roughly based on the early Discworld Rincewind adventures. And I think one of the Death ones, but this one, Discworld Noir, it's set entirely in the Discworld universe, but it's a new story. As far as I know, this detective, I don't remember this detective appearing in the book, but there's a lot of characters from the books, like Vimes and Nobby and stuff. They make an appearance. Commander King Speedrun of Universe followed me this week. I can never stream. Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, I can see how that could be not threatening, but a bit scary. You need my Mad Dog points, yes. I'm reasonably excited to see a working copy of Discworld. Yeah, this was tricky to run. So I was almost going to play the PlayStation version of this game, just because at least I could shove that into an emulator and it would work. But yeah, in the end, I ended up running this in a virtual box. If I can show you. I can show you briefly. Also, hello, Static Water. Oh, don't know what that did. So I've got so this is essentially running in VirtualBox. Only because, yes, I can get this running in Windows. There's somebody has patched the Discworld binary to run on a modern system, but one, I don't trust it because it's just somebody I don't know. I don't really feel like running random binaries. And also, apparently this game does not run very well on CPUs with multiple cores. The main character runs around very jerkily. It's really weird. So I thought I'll just shove it in VirtualBox. It doesn't require any 3D acceleration or anything, so it actually runs pretty well. I think maybe there's a bit of stuttering with the sound occasionally. So game. Yeah, okay. So this is Discworld Noir, and let's go restart the game. So there is a bit of speech in here. So if you can't hear, I've tried to add subtitles and everything, but if you can't hear it, just let me know, and I'll turn some stuff. I thought until I saw the Kirby bit, I was worried that you weren't a fan of my beard. Oh, it is a little bit. You could try and feed it. It's gonna eat my beard. Alright. Oh, hang on. I forgot one thing I was gonna do. Browns. Up. There you go. Bold claim. When I think of Noir, I think of Maddie doing his oh god. Yeah, I don't know if Super Maddie. He sometimes pops in. But yeah, he's got a terrible American accent. All right, so is the sound okay? Like, I suppose we'll have to wait until we actually get to the speech part. Have to wait till what Maddie does? What? Huh? Super Maddie? That's his username here. He goes straight to No, I know. Everyone on the disc knows the legend of Eleanor of Tessort, or at least everyone knows a legend of Eleanor of Tessort, or Crinix, or El Harib. Ask most people and they'll tell you she was the cause of the Tortian Wars. Of course, ask most people and they'll tell you the patrician is a kind and benevolent man. Never trust what most people tell you. Oh god, I'm going to miss all this. Alright, there was a war. There was a goddess. There was a fight between 80 gods. There was an argument. Passing dog managed to borrow the... Okay. Let's hear your Noir... My voice. I don't know. How does it go? There's a dog in it. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a dog. Oh no, there definitely is a dog. I'll try the narrator accent voice in a sec. Hey, we're safe. Uh-oh. Sneaky. Alright, GG everyone. Thanks for watching Discworld Noir. Definitely check it out.
I've had some bad days since I started work as a private investigator. But I'd never woken up dead before. It all started the week before, on a cold and wet Sectober day in Ankh-Morpork, the oldest and most depraved of all the cities on the Discworld. But hey, you've gotta love it.
I think this is a diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
I'd been working as a PI for a little over a month, and business was slow. Hiring an investigator to look into your business requires trust. The amount of trust in Ankh-Morpork wouldn't fill a cup. And it's a small cup I'm talking about. Sure, people trust that you don't get on the wrong side of the patrician. People trust that you don't walk into the shades alone. People trust that the Assassin's Guild will fulfill their contracts or double your money back. Yeah, people even trust death. Just don't ask them to trust their mothers.
Here we go. The dame walked in. She had
Mr.
legs
Luton?
up to the Tuesday.
If I'm not, I should fire the guy who painted the door.
So this is what a private investigator looks like. I expected someone more heroic.
Heroism costs extra. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mrs. actually. And the name is Carlotta.
Okay, Mrs. Actually. Carlotta it is. What's a girl like you doing out in a night like this?
I want to hire you, Mr. Luton.
Please, call me Luton. Mr. sounds so
My
formal.
mum calls me
How much
Mr.
do
Luton.
you charge for a simple investigation?
I don't know. I've never had a simple investigation. A tricky one is 20 a day.
I'll give you 200 in advance, plus expenses.
For 200, I guess I should treat you with some respect.
Oh, I wouldn't ask a guy like you to attempt the impossible.
What's the
snap.
case?
I want you to find a man named Mundy.
Why do you want to find Mundy?
Do you know him?
No. And this case will go a lot faster if you let me ask the questions.
You like to be in control, don't you, Luton?
If you don't pull the strings, then you're the puppet. Tell me about you and Mundy.
I've been a lonely woman, Luton.
You
So
amaze me.
You'd be surprised.
Shocked, maybe, but not surprised.
Mundy is my lover, Luton. Or used to be. He's been away for a while, over in Sort. He came back to Ankh-Morpork a couple of days ago on the Milka. But he didn't come to see me. I think he may be having an affair. You're wondering whether my husband knows about it.
Actually, I was wondering when you were going to give me the money.
My husband passed away several years ago.
I hope the poor guy was smiling at the time. Is there anything you can tell me about Mundy that might help me find him?
He's got blue eyes, brown hair, and a black heart. You'd
Sure,
like
yeah.
him.
Has he got any friends in Ankh-Morpork?
Does anyone?
How tall is he?
I don't know. I don't picture him standing up.
What was Mundy's business in Sort?
I don't know. I never asked about his work, and he never told me.
Must be a very straightforward relationship.
As simple as they come.
Where can I find the ship he came in on?
Down at the wharf.
Have you been there yourself?
I avoid places like that. Women and seamen.
Forget I asked. This is a bad neighborhood for you to come into alone, Carlotta.
I can take care of myself.
I believe you.
Good. Trust is important.
I said I believed you. I never said I trusted you.
Don't you like me, Luton?
I like a lot of things. I like dogs, but I wouldn't trust one not to bite me.
I won't bite.
Shame. I haven't been bitten in a long while. I'd better get started on your case. Where can I contact you?
I'll be in touch. Be seeing you, Luton.
I hoped I would see her again, because she still hadn't paid me. Still, it wasn't every day that a beautiful woman offered me a case. Frankly, it wasn't often that anybody offered me a case. And 200 would certainly help pay the rent, if I had anything left over from my bar bill.
Okay, so this icon in the corner is telling me that the map's been updated and I've got some clues. So first of all, is the brightness okay in the game? Because I had to turn it up a little bit in OBS because it's actually very dark. If I turn off the color correction, like it's a lot harder to see everything. So I turned it up a little bit for the stream. Strange choice of voice actor. Oh, I know, Rob Brydon. You need to add all of his musical stings. That's a good point. I'll see what I can do about extracting those. That'd be cool. Oh, you like how I set it up? Oh, that's good. That's good. I was trying to... Because the game is very dark, and I wasn't sure if that was the intention, or if everyone was expected to just increase their gamma correction a little bit. Yeah, but Rob Brydon... I think there's only like 4 people who do voices in this game. So Rob Brydon does a lot of characters. And you'll see some other... You might recognize 1 or 2 other voices. So, this is Luton. Detective Mr. Luton, and he's currently he's got a case. So he's trying to find what's his name, Mundy, on and so there's a lady called Carlotta, and she's after a guy called Mundy. Who may or may not be her boyfriend. MZZ does voices if you need some. That's a good point.
Sapient pearwood comes from a plant so magical that it is totally
I
impervious to
might
all
see if the
forms
MZZ
of
does
magic,
commissions.
and so valuable that thieves have cut each other's throats to own it. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford a desk made out of it, so I made do with pine. It's a nice desk, though. I could hardly carry the desk around, even if I wanted to.
So it looks like the controls are it's single click to move around, double click to interact,
I could hardly carry...
and right click to look.
Sapient pearwood comes... Unfortunately, it's a nice desk.
Are you... Are you trying to break my butt? So unfortunately, I'm dizzy because there are many layers to this game. Dr. Space, it does do voices, I agree. But there are many layers between the bot that I have and that goes to Dr. Sabates and the DOSBox. So if there's any hint of Unicode, it'll just give up. It's also possible that I broke my bot. It could just be broken. Let's have a look.
Oh my.
No. I might have to look into that. Apologies. But it was a good effort, MCC. Thank you. You heard it? Oh, okay, cool. I think, yeah, this is where I have too many audio sources going, and it's getting a bit messy. It's low bit there. Okay, that's good. I'll try and fix that up. Just briefly, super briefly. So there's DOSBox. Alright, I'll turn that up a bit.
It's all up there.
Hey, okay, that sounds better. I think DOSBox just had the volume down too low. Okay, back to the game. Sorry about that. So this is so if I click on him, you get a notebook. And the nice thing is, as well as an inventory, you have as well as an inventory, you also have a notebook, which you can essentially interact with it like an inventory. So you can go to a case and hopefully pick it up. You can pick up items and you can use them on another item.
must have had business out of town, but what?
So rather than combining items, you combine clues, and that can actually lead to another clue. Like you can build up clues, and then you can use these to talk to other people. Don't know if I explained that very well, but
I'd purchased the imp-powered coffee bean machine from Cut-Me-Own-Throat Dibbler, the man whose name was the byword for quality. With CMOT Dibbler, you could say bye to quality.
goodbye.
I'll say this for the ICBM. It made coffee strong enough to blow your head off. On the downside, the imp tended to use most of the beans to fuel its own addiction. Some days the poor thing was so jittery the coffee machine would vibrate off the shelf.
I know, right, Static? So there's not much at the moment in this room.
I had purchased a large indexed scroll rack to keep track of all the cases I was going to handle. The Monday case made it 2.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Another classic innovation is that you can double click to leave a room quickly. Alright, so here's Uncle Morpork.
Sun is going down and my battery is low.
Oh no. Well, hope you have a good night. Repeater Ghost, thanks for coming in. And I'm sorry your battery is low. And I'm glad you got to see a little bit of Discworld Noir. But yeah, thanks again for coming in. So it's,
The wharf was on the upmarket side of the river, in the city of Ankh. The Morpork docks on the other side of the river were not a place wise travelers disembarked at. But then again, wise travelers tried to avoid Ankh Morpork altogether. But if you traveled a lot, it was hard to miss. Like malaria.
Oh, okay. That would have been funny if I got it. I'm sorry, Repeater Ghost. But, okay, sculpting sounds cool too. So, if we talk to this guy, I don't think we can do much yet. Oh, yeah, and, so Repeater Ghost, she used to work at, Funko Pop Co? But she used to do like modeling and things, like 3D modeling and box like art for the boxes and stuff for the Funko Pops, which is kind of cool. Funko, that's the one. Funko Co. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you do 3D modeling in your spare time, but you did 2D modeling for the box art. But yes, it was also very sick.
Are you the first mate?
Shiver me timbers! Hoist the main brace!
Let's start again. Are you the first mate?
Aye, that I be.
You're not going to get any money off me, so you can drop the fake accent.
Sorry, you know how it is. Some people are stupid enough to fall for that sort of thing. What can I do for you?
Heading back for some certification for 3D. Oh, cool. Good luck. Good luck. I hope that's not too taxing, because you've been doing practicing. You can sculpt in real life, but sculpting computers is like magic with me. You have magic powers. I agree. It's yeah, I can never get to the. I can never translate from using a 2D mouse to manipulating 3D objects in a very well constructed manner. Control C. That's true. That also helps a little bit.
When do you sail?
As soon as we've got her loaded.
How much is passage?
Where are you looking to go?
I don't know. Sort, perhaps.
We've just come from there. It'll be a long time before we get back there again.
Did you bring any passengers?
Sure. We always try to take a couple of passengers. They pay their way, and if there's a big storm, they are very useful as to sacrifice to the angry sea gods. Of course, we tell people they were washed over the side.
Very prudent.
What were the passengers on the last voyage like?
There were 3 of them. One of them seemed all right, but the other 2, I don't know about them. There was something strange about them.
So we've now got an extra clue, so we can start asking about mysterious strangers.
Do you sacrifice passengers often?
No. The captain doesn't like it. He says it's bad for business. I said that we were advertising ourselves as offering an exciting tour of the Circle C. But he pointed out that most people would expect the tour to be above the water. If I'd had my way, we'd have thrown some people off the last voyage.
Bad omens?
The whole crew had a bad feeling of dread from the moment we set off.
Looking at the state of the ship, that doesn't come as a surprise.
Alright, so now we're getting into the trying.
I suppressed the urge to ask for money. I was broke, sure, but I wasn't that desperate.
So there's a few. I think there's a few clues here we can ask. So we can ask about Carlotta, for example. These are the suspects, and then we've got the Mundy case. Yeah, so we've got cases and contacts and suspects. So we can go cases, Mundy case, and ask.
Was there a man named Mundy on the last voyage?
It's funny you should ask that. You're the second person today to have an interest in Mundy.
Who was the first?
A dwarf. He didn't give his name. I don't think he was from round here, though.
What about Mundy? What was he like?
I don't pry into the passengers' business.
What
But
colour
for
was
a
his
man who
hat?
came on board pretty happy, he seemed pretty unsettled when he left. Not that I blame him. Something was definitely amiss on this last voyage.
Do you know where he is now?
Mundy? No. Like I said, I don't pry into passengers' business.
Unless you actually look through their luggage after they've been washed over the side.
Hey, what are you inferring?
I'm not inferring anything. I'm implying that you might have had a look at their luggage at one point.
If I had, I certainly wouldn't admit it to you.
Which either means you didn't look, or you didn't find anything of interest.
You better watch your steps, son. It's not good to make accusations like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Anything we discuss is strictly between you, me, and anyone else I tell.
Got a meeting? No worries, MCZ. Thank you for coming in, and thank you very much for leaving a alert. I hope the meeting goes well. Now, I can't remember who I talked about. Oh, right, no, this is one. So we talked about Mundy. So we'll just ask about the Milker now, which is this ship.
This is the Milka, isn't it?
That's what it says on the prow.
It's impossible to read anything written on that hull.
Just because you can't read it doesn't mean it isn't there. Reality is subjective after all.
Don't get all existential with me.
It was more ontological than existential.
That's a really bad habit you've got there.
What? Oh, sorry. I picked up a bad case of philosophy in Ephoebe a couple of years ago, and I haven't been able to get rid of it since. Just can't seem to shake it off. Normal as anything one minute. Next moment, I'm wondering if anything can truly be said to exist. A bit of a drawback when you're supposed to be navigating.
Okay, assuming the existence of an objective shared universe, is this the Milka?
Yes.
Can I have a look on board?
No.
That better not be some kind of philosophical objection.
No one gets on board without Captain Jenkins' permission.
Where is the captain?
I don't know. But you could try the Cafe Ankh. He usually goes there when he's in Ankh-Morpork. If it exists, of course.
Alright, so we've got a lead. We can talk to the captain. So,
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
Doesn't ring any bells, I'm afraid.
What was
mysterious
strange
passengers.
about these passengers?
I don't know. One of them seemed kind of foreign. I mean, more foreign than most.
If it exists, an important caveat. Yeah, I do agree.
Since that was who I'd learnt about that from in the first place, I didn't feel I had much to gain by going over old ground.
Does feel something that's presumed a lot of the time, but yeah, it's a good thing. It's good to check. So I believe we've asked Mr. Skopler everything we can.
Well, safe voyage, if that's possible.
And we can talk to... I believe we can't talk to this guy, but we can sort of look around a little bit.
A crate. What more could I say?
Go on.
I couldn't tell what the crates contained, and frankly, I didn't much care. Outgoing cargo wasn't going to tell me much. I needed to know whether Mundy had brought something with him.
Alright, so this is outgoing, and this is the
The
sailor.
sailor was busy loading the ship, and I decided not to disturb him.
Let's try and disturb him anyway.
Something told me I wasn't going to learn anything useful from the sailor.
Alright. So I do love this fast travel, so I can just double click. So we've got the wharf, got the office, and now we've got Cafe Ankh. Sweet little 3D animated sequence. Alright, so we can go inside the cafe, or we can go over here. So I can't remember if the golems had been essentially liberated in the books by this point, at this point or not.
I figured the golem wouldn't notice that the crowbar had gone missing. Not that I'm saying it didn't need it, just that I'd figured I'd get away with stealing it.
Nice. Yeah, I think I agree with MZZ. I might have to try and steal some of these musical stings. So I played, when I was playing this to test it, I got up to this bit, and I think this went on for a little bit.
You can't recall if the whiskey knocked you flat, or if everything was a blur when you met her. All that you remember are the tunes of a vampire, a melancholy tune about impending doom. I'll fetch your tankard, fill it to the brim. A cask of stale, broken drum ale. Wondering how long till you meet again on the bank of the Ain. Too much to drink, you could barely even think. Too much bare heart.
I thought I told you never to play that song again. Oh, sorry, Mr. Luton. It's just I wasn't expecting you to call by tonight, and... You weren't expecting me? It's only been 8 years, Samael. I guess my memory ain't what
Can't
it
play it
used to
again,
be.
Sam.
I don't know why Samael put up with my temper. He could have broken every bone in my body if he'd wanted to, but that's what made him special, I guess. that he'd take almost any kind of abuse from the clientele, and he'd still be there at the piano, playing better than anyone else in Ankh-Morpork.
Aw, well, sweetie.
I decided not to disturb Samael while he was working.
So if we look around, there's
The pianist, Samael, was one of Cafe Ankh's greatest assets. Not only was he a first-rate musician, but there was something about him that made you think it'd be a bad idea to start any trouble.
and there's everyone's
My
This
old friend Nobby
favorite?
from the
Nobby?
Watch. I hadn't spoken to him in ages.
and I believe that's the captain we were looking for.
The captain of the Milka, Captain Jenkins, didn't seem to be a very happy man.
Alright, let's have a
Hello,
chat to
Nobby.
first. Hello, Nobby.
Hello, Luton. How you been keeping?
I've been worse. Of course, I've been better, too. And I've been a hell of a lot better and not much worse.
That's good, isn't it?
Don't worry. If Commander Vimes sees us together, I'll tell him I made you talk to me.
It's not that I don't like you, Luton. I mean, we was friends and all. But it's just, well,
It's just he'd bite your head off if he saw you talking to me.
he'd go spare.
So, of all the male characters we've heard so far, have they all been voiced by Rob Brydon? Because it certainly feels that way.
How you been keeping, Nobby? How's the rest of the watch?
Not so bad, Luton. Been keeping myself busy. Been working with Sergeant Colon.
How is old Fatty Colon?
Still fat. I'll tell him I saw you.
Many
No,
voices.
you won't.
Okay, so maybe
yeah,
I won't. I was just being trite.
Polite.
Yeah, that's the one.
I guess I never really understood why it was that you didn't get kicked out as well, Nobby.
Me? I ain't never done nothing wrong.
Don't give me that, Nobby. When you were serving as quartermaster under the Duke of Pseudopolis, it was widely known that several items from the stores were found in your kit.
That
Yeah.
was all above board. I had all the paperwork for him.
Your kit at the time consisted of 2 warehouses. I just think Vimes had a grudge against me.
Luton, I know you're my friend and all, but you took a bribe.
Are you trying to tell me you never took a bribe?
Never.
The ham from Harga's House of Ribs?
Evidence.
The pocket clock from the Suicide in the Shades?
I wanted something to remember him by.
The money in the petty cash box?
Mislaid by someone.
Misappropriated by you.
I never misanthropated anything.
I just want to understand why it was that you could get away with all your petty theft, and I couldn't get away with one act of weakness.
Well, you see,
Just say it, Nobby. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
well, I reckon Mr. Vimes thinks that a bit of petty theft ain't something to get excited about. I ain't admitting anything, mark you. Nothing's ever been proved. Compared to some of the stuff that goes on in this city. But someone who's taken a bribe, well, that's like allowing the rich to avoid justice.
That wasn't why I did it.
I know. But you know Vimes.
Yeah, I know Vimes all right.
Vimes. Can't remember if we actually get to meet Vimes in this game, but fingers crossed we do.
What's Vimes up to these days?
He got married.
Married? He was only ever married to his job.
Nah, straight up. He married into nobility.
Old Stoneface in the nobility. That'd drive him crazy.
Well, he's sort of nobility himself now.
What?
They made him commander of the watch. And we got a great new premises down on Pseudopolis Yard. They're full of paintings and vases and all sorts.
Full?
Well, maybe not as full as when we moved in, but pretty full.
I'll have to call round sometime.
Yeah, that'd be good. We got a lot more members in the watch these days. And we got a new dartboard.
Life in the fast lane, huh? Do you seriously think it's a good idea for me to call around? I mean, Vimes isn't gonna like it.
Whatever you may think about him, he's loyal to his job. I can't say he'll welcome you with open arms, but he won't stop you.
So I don't think we're going to
I
get much from
suppressed
here.
the urge to... I was
Yep.
broke. Tempting as it was, I decided not to start attacking people with the crowbar.
Very wise. Okay. So let's ask about the... Let's go
Do you
Monday.
know anything about a man named Mundy?
I'm not getting drawn into anything while I'm off duty. Wait till I'm back at the yard.
Alright, sounds like a hint to meet old Nobby Nobs later on.
Have you heard of the Milka? It arrived in town a short time ago.
How long ago?
3 days.
That's strange.
Why?
Well, there's been a string of odd murders in the last 3 days.
Mysterious.
What do you mean, odd? I mean, this is Ankh-Morpork we're talking about.
I'm not sure I should discuss the details with a pavilion.
A civilian, Nobby. How much have you had to drink?
I'm as sober as the day I was born.
Ah, that's a frightening thought.
So we asked about the Milker. So now we're on to our suspects. Carlotta.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I'm not getting drawn into anything while I'm off duty.
Oh, go on, Nobby.
Wait till I'm back at the yard.
Do you know anything about some passengers that came into town by ship a few days ago?
That's not much to go on.
You're a corporal in the watch. You're supposed to have a keen, insightful mind.
They brought that regulation in after I joined.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
Can't this wait till I get back to the
No.
yard? I'm off duty.
Duty.
Since that was who I'd learnt about...
Okay. So I think we've asked all we can from old Nobby.
I'll catch you later, Nobby. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, don't get caught doing anything I wouldn't do.
Solid detectiving. Exactly.
Are you Captain Jenkins?
That depends on who's asking.
Don't play games. I'm just after a few answers.
That song really put you in a bad mood, didn't it?
If you're trying to get me angry, it's working.
No need to get upset. You need to drink more and think less.
If
Solid
I drank
advice.
any more than I do now, I'd never think again.
That's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
So, you're the captain of the Milka.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
ordinarily I'd be happy being a captain of a fine ship like the Milka. But after this last voyage, I'm thinking of taking up farming.
tough journey.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm afraid you're going to have to.
What was so bad about the last voyage?
I told you I don't want to talk about it.
Sometimes it helps to talk about these things.
Why would I want to talk about it?
All right, let's put that another way. I want to talk about it, and the sooner I finish talking to you, the sooner you can get back to drinking.
By that logic, my best bet would be to just ignore you and carry on drinking.
I was never much good at logic. I did home economics at school.
Dope.
I was hoping you'd let me have a look around on the Milka.
I was hoping that I was going to make enough money to be able to buy myself a harem of exotic dancers called Chantel. But it looks like we're both going to be disappointed.
Is there any way I can persuade you to let me on your ship?
Is there any way I can persuade you to go away?
Can we bribe him?
I suppressed the...
Okay.
I was...
It's going to work someday. Alright, so... What have we got? Oh, empty page. Okay. We can ask about
Do you
mysterious
know
murders.
anything about the recent murders in Ankh-Morpork?
I know that there are always murders in Ankh-Morpork. See Ankh-Morpork and die, they say. Often in the same day.
That's not a very helpful answer.
It wasn't a very sensible question.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
There's no one I know.
On your last voyage, there were 3 passengers, right? Monday and 2 others.
You tell me. You seem to know more about my ship than I do.
I just want to know what you
great
can
pitch.
remember about them.
Well, that's
I
honest,
remember that we
upfront.
picked them up in
You know what to expect.
pt1, and I know they had a lot of cargo. Oh, and one was a woman, and one was a man, I think.
You think he was a man?
There was something particularly foreign about him. I'm not sure what.
Where's Ecclepon?
Up near the hub. God's forsaken place. All there is to do there is drink and eat fish sandwiches with no tops on.
No tops.
Sounds like a long way from the Circle C.
We got lost, all right. It's easy to mix up port and starboard when you've drunk too much port.
Are they still on board?
Nope. We dropped them in Ankh-Morpork. And before you ask, I have no idea what they were doing here. That's not my business.
I was beginning to realize that Captain Jenkins only had 2 questions to ask his passengers. Where are you going? And how much money have you got? Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Dwarf. Who is this mysterious dwarf?
I understand you are carrying a man named Monday on your ship.
What's it to you?
I was hoping to find him.
Owes you money, does he?
No, he's an old friend.
Him? You must think I'm as drunk as I look.
Aren't you?
Well, okay, so maybe I am. What
I
do
think
you want
we're
to know?
mixing
Where is he
fantasy
now?
universes
I've
there.
no
The Peter
idea.
Ghosts.
We
For sure.
picked him up in Sword a couple of weeks ago and we brought him here. That's about all I want to know about him.
Did he say what he was coming to Ankh-Morpork for?
I think he said he was meeting someone.
Who?
I can barely remember my own name, let alone something I overheard through a doorway last week.
The Milka looks like a good ship.
You know nothing about ships, do you? She looks like exactly what she is.
Hank
A
Morpork.
rundown
That's essentially how it's
tramp
pronounced,
schooner
yeah.
with no future.
Any chance I could look around her anyway?
All I want to do is get the cargo loaded and get out of this god's-forsaken city. I don't need people snooping around on board.
I think that's... So we learned about... I don't know if we learned anything, really, from the captain.
I'll see you around, Captain.
Other than he doesn't want us snooping around. Although Nobby is gone. So we've affected the world a little bit. So let's just save the game. Although I've got to do some groceries. Good luck with the game. No worries. Thank you for lurking, and thank you for the good luck. I hope I'll probably be playing this for the next couple of streams. I think it's a bit of a long game. So you probably have more opportunities of seeing bits and pieces of it. But yeah, thanks again for coming in. Okay, so I think we've gotten everything we can from people in the cafe. And if we look at our map, we've now got Luton's office, we've got Pseudopolis Yard, the police yard. There's cafe, and the wharf. So if we go back to the wharf, we can see now that the sailor is actually gone. So hopefully we can get, I can figure out how to do it. There should be a way to get my inventory. Restart game? No. F2. So let's see how that goes. Oh, double click.
I didn't much like being jammed into a crate and loaded onto the ship, but I could think of worse fates. Like being jammed into a crate full of rats and loaded onto the ship. What's your name then, little fellow?
I was just going to look in the crate.
The hold was dark and dank, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone.
Uh-oh. So let's have a look here. Okay. So there's a label.
I thought I could see a label amongst the wreckage. I pulled the label out of the wreckage. It had writing on it that I couldn't understand.
Oh no, not foreign writing. Can I... It says flotsam.
The bilge water was littered with flotsam that looked like the remains of a smashed crate.
So I think the... Oh, what's this? Is that just the same? Let's have a look. Oh no, it's different. There's a lair. What is this? Is this a rat's lair?
It looked lived in. The question was, by what? There was nothing of value in the debris.
Okay. So maybe we're meant to go back here later? They debris. And that's the guy we were talking to before. I think. It's a form of cheese, repeated ghosts. Aha. What's going on here? Bunk.
A perfectly ordinary bunk bed.
Nice. What have we got? I feel like there's got to be something here.
I searched a bunk and found a small scrap of cardboard. It could have been anything. There was a number on the back. Either a 6 or a 9. It was hard to say.
Nice.
I searched one of the bunks but found nothing useful, and nothing I wanted to think too closely about.
Okay, so...
I'd pulled the label out of the flotsam in the bilge water of the Milka. The scrap of cardboard I'd found in one of the bunks on the Milka had a number on it, either a 6 or a 9.
6 or a 9. Alright, so we just got a whole bunch of rubbish, really.
I'd managed to remain hidden on the ship, but I knew my luck couldn't last forever, because I'd stopped being lucky around age 12. The first mate looked less than happy, but I don't think he saw who I was as I dived in elegantly on my Ankh. Fortunately, the crust of the Ankh was soft that night, and I escaped both injury and discovery, although I needed 2 baths just to feel dirty.
I love that the lore of the Ankh-Morpork River is that it has a crust. Like, it's just so disgusting and dirty and full of rubbish that you can't actually go for a swim in it. So I believe if we leave the office and come back. Who's this guy? What's going on here?
On an ordinary night, I'd sit around waiting for business. But this night, business was coming to me, and bringing trouble with it. Business, I didn't mind. But trouble was an unwelcome guest. And like all unwelcome guests, it was hard to ask it to leave. And by the 3rd day, it was generally wearing your shirts and leaving its stuff in your bathroom.
Hello, Mr. Luton. I've been expecting you.
I should hope so. This is my office. How'd you get in?
Through the door. It was only locked. I know all about doors.
Good. Use this one to get out.
I have a message for you, Mr. Luton.
I don't take messages from strangers.
Then let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Al-Khali.
I don't take messages from dwarves named after cities.
My name isn't important.
You seem to think it was.
I've come to warn you to stay clear of the Mundy case.
I'll bear that in mind. Now get out.
If you don't stay clear of the Mundy case, something untoward may happen to you.
This is Ankh-Morpork. Something untoward may happen to me whether I investigate this case or not. Now either you get out or I'll throw you out.
Don't say I didn't warn you, Mr. Luton.
Don't say I didn't ignore you, Mr. Alkali. A dwarf named after the Kletchian city of Alkali. And a threat. This case was getting more interesting by the minute. All we needed was a troll and a member of the undead, and we could open an ethnic comedy on Broadway.
Alright, so building up a nice list of clues. So that game's saved. Alright, so let's go to the police guys. Policemen. Police people.
I headed over to Pseudopolis Yard, but Nobby wasn't there yet. I decided to come back later.
Oh, okay. Now it works. Alright. This is dark. Hopefully everyone can see this properly. Saved as dwarf scum. I wouldn't do that. Hey, Nobby.
You could say this about Nobby. Deep down, he was a good man. Well, deep down, he was probably a man. Good might be stretching it a bit.
Oh no, I got it. The whale scum. I'll never live down whale scum. But yeah, no, I get it.
Hello again, Nobby.
Hello, Nobby.
Hello, Luton.
Did I disturb you?
No. What made you think that?
Well, there appears to be smoke coming from your ear.
Oh, that, well, I've been working hard, you see.
Working so hard that your ears have caught fire. Don't worry about it, Nobby. It's not like I'm going to report you.
I have been working, see?
Oh, sure. I never doubted it for a second. How's work treating you then?
Not so bad, Luton. I've been busy, though. Rushed off my feet.
Yeah, I can tell.
So at least now we've got some interesting stuff. So you'll never let me live that down as long as you live. Thanks for that, Repeated Ghost.
Can you read this?
Give me a break, Luton. I don't know everything.
Can you read this?
Does this mean anything to you?
No.
It's a number. Alright, finally we can ask all the questions that Nobby was unwilling to answer before.
Any word on these murders?
Nothing yet. But our top investigators are working on the case 24 hours a day.
Nobby?
Yeah?
Are you one of those crack investigators?
Yeah? Why?
Never mind. Just a thought.
Top men.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
Never heard of him.
I don't suppose you've investigated the passengers on the Milka, have you?
Of course I have.
Sorry, but you're not the most, diligent of investigators.
I work as hard as any man of my rank.
You're the only man of your rank. There's 3 dwarfs, 2 troll, a woman and a zombie with the same rank as you, but you're the only human male. I know you're human because you carry a bit of paper to prove it, signed by the midwife. The maleness, I'll take that on trust.
Do you want me to help you or not?
What have you got?
Well, I interviewed one of the passengers.
What did you learn?
That's official watch business.
Come on, Nobby.
You didn't learn anything, did you?
Not as such, no.
Any chance I could interview this passenger?
I don't see why not. She's down in the Cafe Ankh now.
Well, that's something, I guess.
That's good.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
I don't know.
Helpful.
Do you know a dwarf by the name of Alkali?
Never heard of him.
How did you know he was male, then?
You can't trick me. Everyone knows dwarves don't use the female pronoun.
Okay, okay.
Mind you, I've always wondered what a female pronoun was.
One of nature's wonderful mysteries, Nobby.
Is it normally kept covered or what?
I'm going to leave it to your rather uninventive imagination, Nobby.
Nobby.
Do you know anything about a man named Mundy?
Never heard of him.
Well, that's only the guy we're trying to find.
Have you learned anything about the Milka?
Yeah, not as such, no.
You go to great lengths to conceal how little work you do, don't you?
Hey,
Hey. Oh, I know, right? Repeated ghost.
Catch you later, Nobby.
Have to remember that. Do they normally keep it covered up? So I don't think there's anything to interact with here.
The troll
Oh, hang
stepped
on.
out of the shadows like light was too intimidated to illuminate him. He seemed like the quiet sort, but you got the feeling that if you stepped out of line, you'd get your teeth kicked down your throat. For that matter, he could kick your throat down your chest and your chest through your legs. But I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, because none of my clothes would fit.
Find Therma.
Sorry, friend, I don't understand.
Find Therma.
You want me to find Therma? Is that it? Well, what is it? A person? A thing? Look, if we're going to carry out a conversation, it'd help for you to talk.
Find Therma.
Okay, find Therma. What's your name, friend? There was something about a troll that big that made you want to call him friend.
Malachite. Find Therma. You've got to find her.
I wasn't about to argue with a troll that could twist my head off and use it as a cocktail onion. Okay, friend, what can you tell me about her? Any suggestions of where I should start looking?
Used to sing at the Octarine Parrot. Find Therma. Got to find Therma.
How can I contact you?
Find Therma.
That was all he said. I guess he wasn't very bright. But then there's things under damp logs that are brighter than most trolls.
Of Z Frank, who does true facts analysis. Oh, Z Frank, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. So yeah. Oh, so trolls in the Discworld universe, they're all silicon based. And then later on in the books, there's like a strong parallel with the silicon based trolls and silicon based CPUs. So trolls can actually get smarter by wearing helmets with little fans on to cool their brain down. So it turns out trolls aren't actually that dumb. It's just they don't have very good. They've only got passive cooling. They get active cooling, but they go pretty well. And Octarine, the Octarine parrots. Octarine is like it's like an 8th color that only people with magical ability can see in the Discworld universe. So I think we can. So I think we heard that there was someone at the cafe, and there's a new location, the Octarine Parrot. So this is where we're about to ask about. We need to ask about Therma, I believe.
I'd heard of the Octarine Parrot. It made other dives sound appealing. What a place. I could feel the rats in the walls. Hell, I could see the rats in the walls. In fact, some of them had come out of the walls and were sitting at the tables.
What have we got? We've got a notice board.
I couldn't imagine who would pay attention to the notices in a seedy dive like the Parrot. But I guess they were of interest to someone.
Good night, streamer. Thank you for popping in. Hope you have a good sleep. I'll give you a quick shout out. Definitely give the streamer a follow if you're into sort of the occasional retro and or rock galactic stream, apparently. But yeah, thanks again for coming in. Yeah, I think I'll probably just keep playing Discworld for a bit. See how we go. Mankin.
The bartender was a half-elf called Mankin, and I knew he wouldn't appreciate someone coming into his place and asking questions. Fortunately, I didn't care what he appreciated.
Mankin.
The bar looked almost as appealing as every other bar in town to me, but the drinks didn't exactly fill you with confidence.
Stage, and I've got Sapphire.
The stage, where performers go up in front of a drunken crowd and sell their dignity to earn enough money to barely live on. It made me think that all the discs a stage and all the people players. Unfortunately, I felt like I'd been cast as an extra in my own life story. The Troll singer was something else. I didn't know what, but she was something. Can we talk?
Certainly look that way. Move mouth, waggle tongue. Yeah, it all working.
My name's Luton.
Sapphire.
I could already tell that Sapphire was a troll who could look after herself. I knew I'd have to watch my step around her. It was quite a long way around her, too, and not the pretty way. You've been a singer here long.
Long enough.
Long enough for what?
Long enough to want to be singing somewhere else.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd tell you about myself in 4 words. Big ideas, small results.
Why did you become a singer?
Aren't many jobs for a troll like me. And at least this one honest.
Is honesty important to you?
As much as anything else.
I'm guessing nothing much matters to you right now, Sapphire.
You catch on quick, Luton.
Tracy Morgan, I can sort of hear that. I can sort of hear it.
What do you know about the barman?
Mankin? Not much. Know that him a bigger loser than me.
How come?
He owns this place. At least Sapphire leave if Sapphire wants to.
Why don't you leave?
Where would I go? No place on disc for a troll like me. Spend our whole lives waiting for break. Just one chance to come our way that can seize in both hands tightly. But it never come. Or if it do, we don't recognize it. So we go back to grind of job we hate. And just keep on ticking each day, one step closer to end.
Do you do children's parties?
Let's see if she knows anything about the mysterious number 6.
Does this mean anything to you?
Ask too many questions and a girl loses interest.
Can you read this?
Ask too many...
Oh, okay. Let's try the notebook. So we're getting a few clues now. But this asks about...
I gave Sapphire Mundy's description in the hope that she'd seen him around.
Don't ring no bells, honey, but that don't mean much. We get lots of humans through here, and they all look the same to me.
That's fair.
Do you know anything about the Milka?
Ask too many questions and a girl loses interest.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if she's related to Mundy or not, because we're only here because of that therma clue. But I'll just ask.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
Sapphire know a lot of people.
Alright, she doesn't know her.
Have you seen 2 strangers recently? Anyone who seemed more foreign than most?
Ask too many.
What does more foreign mean?
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
Ask too...
Alright.
What do you know about a dwarf named Alkali?
Sapphire know lot.
Okay. Alright, these are the new ones.
I don't suppose you'd know a big troll called Malachite.
Sure, he troll a few words, 'cause he don't know that many.
Do you know where I could find him?
Sapphire not seen him in years, but you try Rodin's workshop. He used to hang out there.
Yet another location to visit.
Have you heard of a troll singer named Therma? She used to work here.
Huh, A troll singer named Therma.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Sure, Sapphire know her.
Know where I could find her?
Try morgue.
Oh, no.
She dead. Her house on Tallow Street collapsed while back now. We trolls may be tough, but we're not indestructible. Rumors say she was practicing her moves and knocked out load-bearing beam. Brought whole place down on top of her. That's why Sapphire never practiced.
That's the only reason.
That, and I don't wanna.
Know where she's buried?
Better reason.
Sapphire don't know, but think they buried her under stage name Madame Lodestone.
Madame Lodestone?
Sure, on account of how attractive she was.
Madame Lodestone. Okay, so we've asked about all these people. Let's see if she knows anything about mysterious murders.
Word is there's been a lot of strange murders recently.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Why not?
There are a lot of strange people in this city.
Okay, that wasn't helpful.
I don't suppose you'd know a big troll called Malachite.
Sure, he troll a few words.
Do you know?
Sapphire not.
I think we've already talked about that guy. We asked about Therma. Oh, okay, so this is the Therma case, so...
So Therma performed here under the name Madame Lodestone.
Who are you, the narrator? I told you that already.
Goddamn narrators. I think we've asked everything. So we've got a new location, Rodan's workshop, and we've got another clue, Madame Lodestone. So let's say goodbye for now.
I'll be back.
Can we talk to Mankin? Is Mankin even a real name?
Can I help you?
You could sell me a drink.
What's your poison?
I'd prefer whiskey, straight with a whiskey chaser.
You didn't come here to drink, did you?
Well, I didn't come here for the sparkling conversation. Most of the customers go squeak, squeak.
Mankin, napkin.
This seems like a nice place.
No, it doesn't. It seems like what it is. A wretched hive of scum and villainy.
It's tough to get to the top in that field. You could have that on a sign outside. Come to the Octarine Parrot, the most wretched hive of scum and villainy this side of the Ankh.
Are you being funny?
Apparently not.
You look a little nervous.
I can't shake the feeling that sooner or later someone is going to get their arm cut off. Have you always owned the Parrot?
No. It used to be a troll bar. I took over the place after the riots.
Did you keep any of the staff?
Sure. I kept anyone who wanted to stay. And wasn't too badly injured by the riots. But there's something about a group of rioting trolls that makes people reluctant to walk back into a place.
Or indeed unable. Did you keep any singers on the staff?
Only Sapphire.
It's not often I see a half-elf bartender.
Be honest. It's not often you see a half-elf.
Okay, you got me. What's the deal?
I don't like to talk about it.
I thought elves were supposed to be irrepressibly likable, so that they can get away with whatever acts of cruelty they want. Like cats.
Well, I'm not an elf, all right?
That's the problem, isn't it? Everyone can see that you've got elf blood in you, but you've got none of the advantages. All you get is people's prejudice.
I don't like your manner.
I'm not selling it. Tell me about Sapphire.
Why don't you just talk to her yourself? Just don't bother her while she's working, all right?
I don't believe I'm going to get much in the way of conversation from all these clues, but we'll see how we go.
I gave Mencken Mondays to... He told me that he... Maybe I could trust. A half-elf doesn't need to make any more enemies. Do you know anything about the Milka?
If you asked fewer questions, maybe...
I feel like a lot of this is just going to be... Nope, nope, but...
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
That's the... I feel like you're writing a lot of notes for this game, Repeated Ghosts. And future conversations with you will just be Discworld Noir quotes. Which is fine. I'm happy with that.
Have you seen two strangers recently? Anyone who seemed more foreign than most?
No.
Nope.
Has there been a...
Nope.
Nope.
What do...
I know a lot. That doesn't...
I'm sculpting, not writing things down. Fair enough.
Do you know of a tall
Might have been one of the customers, but I wouldn't know.
Alright.
Do you know... She used to say...
That'd be before. Sapphire might know.
Yeah, this guy's not very helpful, is he?
Do you know anything?
Only what you're...
You're not very...
Just because I don't want to help you. Say, I do like your hard-boiled dialogue. How long do you boil it?
About 12 minutes from when the water begins to bubble. Do you know of a troll who goes by the name of Map? Tall...
Might have been, but I wouldn't know.
Oh, hey Proxylidus, how's it going? Do you even buy this game? This is a good question. So it's not on GOG, it's not on Steam. You can definitely buy it on eBay. You can get like the PS1 version and the PC version. The PlayStation version will definitely run on an emulator with no issues. It's a lot of loading screens. PC version doesn't work great on modern systems. Some people have patched the binary, so it's up to you whether or not you trust random executables from people on the internet. And it also doesn't seem to work very well on multi-core systems. So I'm actually running this in VirtualBox, just so I can limit a number of CPUs, and run the patch binaries without worrying about it affecting the rest of my system. But yeah, there's a lot of obstacles to actually trying to legitimately play this game these days. I'm fairly sure I've got like a budget copy of the game somewhere in my cupboard. I copied the images like years ago. Full of knowledge. I don't know about his knowledge. I did a lot of googling trying to get this to work. But yeah, if you try and run this on a modern system, I've seen videos of people playing it and like all the characters move around very jerkily. It's kind of playable. It's full of bees, exactly. Full of bees. This game definitely deserves having like a proper release somehow. I think, and also the engine itself, I think is similar to the engine that was used for Discworld 1 and 2, which ScumVM can play. ScumVM doesn't support this game though, so I don't know what the status is of that. And I did read somewhere that Terry Pratchett himself, he kind of gave his blessing to allow these games to become freeware, but I think that depends on whether or not they're accessible via ScumVM or not. But yeah, these games should be made more available for more people to play.
Do you know someone named Therma? She used to sing here.
Sapphire.
No. Side note, I learned today that Steam's Proton works great with older games that need ancient versions. Oh, cool. Okay. I haven't actually I've read a lot about Proton and how great its supported games are. It's interesting that it's actually useful for playing older games. So I wonder if that's actually something worth investigating, whether or not you can get Discworld Noir running via Proton. Because that'd be kind of cool. I might look into that later. Hey, David Alexander, welcome in. How's it going? We're just playing Discworld Noir at the moment. We're currently asking grumpy bartender questions, and he doesn't seem to have many answers. So I might say goodbye
Until
to him.
later, Mankin.
But Porkzilla, I'm actually kind of intrigued by the notion of getting this game running in Proton. That actually might be an improvement. So I might give it a go. I haven't seen this game before. What's it all about? So this is Discworld Noir. It's the third game in the series of Discworld adventure games. I don't know if you're how familiar you are with Discworld. It's a fantasy book series. It's got like dozens and dozens of books. Like it's great series. You should definitely read them all. But this series is set. This game, is set in the same Discworld universe. And you play a detective, and you're currently trying to find it. You don't know much about your case yet, other than you're trying to find a guy called Mundy. And there seems to be a string of mysterious murders going on. Other than that, you don't know much. Currently we're still trying to piece together some sort of image of what's going on. Repeated Ghost, it's a very cute emote pilot. He was a good boy. So I feel like right now we've got a whole bunch of new clues, so we can always go back and ask Nobby some questions.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello. And the other funny thing about this game, I think there's only they only had a maximum of 4 people voicing all the characters. So there's a lot of back and forth between characters that are voiced by the same person, which is kind of funny. Let's see what he knows about Madame Lodestone.
Have you ever heard of a troll by the name of Madame Lodestone?
Madame Lodestone? Oh, there's a name I've not heard in quite a while.
You know her then?
Well, no, but I've heard of her. She died in some sort of construction mishap.
A mishap, Nobby.
Whatever. Anyway, if memory serves, they put her body in the Salachi Mausoleum. Don't know how she ended up in such an exclusive establishment, but that's how I heard it.
That doesn't sound very likely.
You did ask.
Another location.
Have you heard of a singer called Therma?
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
I don't suppose you know a troll named Malachite.
Not Mount Malachite.
Describe him.
Big, tall, stupid, not very talkative.
That's the one.
He went down for theft years ago. I seem to remember he had an accomplice.
An accomplice?
Yeah, he denied it, but we all thought he was working with someone.
I don't reckon he was the brains of the outfit. What happened?
He escaped. Not that long ago either. As far as I know, he's on the lam. Why? You've seen him?
No. Just interested.
No, just interested. Thurman. There should be there needs to be like a musical instrument / cooking utensil. You can call it a Thurman mix. Or maybe not.
Any word on these murders?
Nothing yet, but our top investigator...
we had this conversation.
Yeah.
Well,
Nobby's one of the top men investigating this. And I think we asked all these ones.
How's work treating you then?
Not so bad, Luton. I've been busy though. Rushed off my feet.
Rushed off.
Yeah, I can tell. Like measles, maybe. Or athlete's foot.
So we're getting a few more locations. So we've got the Mausoleum, Parrot we've just been to, the police yard, Rodin's workshop, cafe, and the wharf. So let's have a look.
The Salachi family mausoleum was one of the most beautiful buildings I'd ever seen, nestled in an upmarket part of the city of Ankh. It was unguarded because, quite frankly, no one in their right mind would do anything to offend the Salachi family, given their ties to the Assassin's Guild. It wasn't just something that wasn't done, it was also something that wasn't survived.
Let's have a look. There's Luton.
The central atrium of the mausoleum opened up so that you could see the sky. I guess on some nights it must have been quite a beautiful sight. But this wasn't one of those nights. The Salaci family mausoleum was full of tombs. More chambers, annexes, vaults, sepulchres, and catacombs than a thesaurus.
Sepulchres.
I tried to find Therma's grave, but it was a waste of time. You'd need to be an expert in heraldry or genealogy to even begin to navigate around it. I'll say this for the nobility. They keep their dead well indexed.
Alright, so we might need to find our own index. Or, can we get out of here?
I tried to find Therma's grave, but it was a waste of time. You'd need to be an expert in heraldry or genealogy to even begin to navigate around it.
Is this going to be?
I'll say this
am I
for the
stuck in here?
nobility. They keep their dead well indexed.
Let's oh no. Let's save the game. The dead. Oh, here we go. There's a little arrow just here. Phew. Alright. So we did hear that there's another person, one of the passengers from the Milka, which is what Mundy travelled on. She should be at the cafe now, so let's go there, have a chat to her. I think this is a cutscene.
You can't recall if the whiskey knocked you flat, or if
I thought I told you never to... Ilsa. I thought I would never see her again. I prayed that I'd never see her again. But either the gods didn't listen, or they were having a laugh at my expense. Knowing the gods of the Discworld, I had a pretty good idea which. Play it again, Sam.
He said the thing.
You know what? No one's ever going to believe you said that. Hello, Ilsa. How long's it been?
Too long.
That's funny. I was thinking that it wasn't long enough.
Aren't you pleased to see me?
Sure. Like a jellyfish praying for the tide to come in.
What's that supposed to mean?
If I always knew what I meant, I'd be a genius.
Back then, you always knew what to say.
I still know what to say. I just choose not to.
You're getting a big kick out of making me feel cheap, aren't you? Well, maybe I had it coming.
Hey, don't take my side. You'll take all the fun out of it. I spent years rehearsing what I'd say if I saw you again. What I'd ask you. I tried to imagine what you'd say.
But now I'm here. You can't think of anything to say?
Now you're here, and I just want to slap you.
Jeez.
Just once. Across the cheek.
What will that prove?
That I still haven't forgiven you.
You're not making this easy, Luton.
Did you think I would? Did you think I'd just come bouncing up to you like a trained puppy? Maybe I'd wag my tail and wait for you to throw me a stick. Well, I'm never going to be another woman's dog for as long as I live.
That's cruel.
Not as cruel as the day you left me.
Someone say dog. The song.
What made you ask for that song?
I was feeling sentimental.
It's good to know that you still remember me.
How could I forget?
I don't know. But you managed to leave. I figured you'd probably manage to forget as well.
Never.
I tried to forget you. I tried to forget the day you left. I tried to forget the good times. I tried to drown your memory in cheap whiskey.
And did you forget?
I don't remember.
I still remember you. That's what the song means to me. It's everything that's good about our time together.
You got lucky, Ilsa. You got all the good memories, and I got all the bad.
It didn't have to be like that.
It's always like that.
It's always like that.
I suppose you have some explanation for what you did. Some pat excuse that'll make everything all right.
There's no excuse for what I did.
At least we agree on one thing.
Why do you hate me so much?
Because I had everything when I had you. And when you left, you took everything with you. It's easy to hate someone who took it all away from you.
It hurts to hear you talk like this.
Good.
So hard-boiled. Alright, let's see if she can read this.
I figured I'd better make sure Ilsa was...
Ah, okay. Alright, do you know Monday?
Have you met a man named Monday?
Yes, there was a man named Monday on the ship we came in on. He kept himself to himself mostly.
What can you tell me about him?
He seemed nervous.
Anything else?
I remember him going down to the cargo hold at one point. He looked really shifty, as if he was hiding something.
Is that it?
That's all I can think of.
So it's possible, because there was that lair in the ship earlier that we couldn't really investigate, so maybe there's a hidden item there.
So, you came in on the Milka, did you?
Yes.
Alone?
No, I came with a companion.
It figures.
What?
Women like you are never alone.
I've been alone.
You know nothing about loneliness. You know nothing about what it's like to not know why you've been abandoned. You don't know what it's like to watch your career slip away because the one thing you care about has been taken from you. You don't know what it's like to spend years going into restaurants and asking for a table for one.
You don't eat in restaurants.
Okay, but if I did, that's what I'd ask for.
Why did you ask about the Milka?
You came aboard in Ecclepon, right? With a man.
Yes, his name's Two Conkers. How did you know?
It's my job to know.
You're being paid to find out where people board ships?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Who is also being paid. Ah. So, that's cool. So the clue, mysterious passengers, has been crossed out, and now it's been replaced by Ilsa and Two Conkers. So as we learn more information, we update our clues. So
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Okay, inquisitive. Stranger asking questions.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
I'm sorry, Luton. I don't know anything about that.
What do you know?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Alright.
Do you know a troll by the name of Malachite?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Sorry. Therma?
Do you know anyone named Therma?
I've not met... Sorry.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of
Ilsa had told me she was traveling with a man named Two Conkers. For now, that was all I needed to know.
Okay.
Tell me one thing, Ilsa. Are you involved in these murders?
What?
The murders. They started when you arrived in town.
I can't believe that you would think such a thing. That's terrible. I mean, I know I've done some bad things, but I've never killed anyone in all my life.
Just checking.
Just checking. Murdered anyone lately? I think we've asked most of these ones.
I've not met... So... I've not met... So...
No.
Have you...
I've not met... So...
No.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salaci family mausoleum by any chance?
I'm sorry, Luton. I don't know any...
I think that was it. I think we're running out. Okay. So now... So the game wouldn't let me ask about this before.
Can you read this?
Yes, it says Pier 5.
What language?
Agatean.
How do you know an obscure language like that?
Actually, Two Conkers is from the counterweight continent. I learnt it from him.
I thought that people weren't allowed to leave the Agatean Empire.
Oh, things have freed up these days.
I'd be careful who you tell about Two Conkers, Ilsa.
Why?
People can be funny about foreigners, and there's always been rumors about the Empire. They say they use powerful magic there. The last time one of them arrived here, the city got burned down.
Two Conkers isn't going to burn the city down.
You know that, and I know that. But the average man on the street doesn't know that.
They see the unknown as a threat.
Thank
Why?
you, Cedric.
Two
and thank you,
conquers
Big
is
T.
harmless. No one's that stupid.
Let me let you in on a little-known secret. You know how stupid the average person is?
I think so, yes.
Well, statistically, half of them are even dumber than that.
I feel like I've heard that before. But thanks again for that, Cedric. Big D.
I found this on the Milka. Does it mean anything to you?
A piece of cardboard with a number on it?
I think it might have something to do with Monday.
If you've constructed murder and a giant conspiracy out of that, I'm going to be very impressed.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
Not wearing a silly hat. Good point. I don't actually own much in the way of silly hats. But I should probably, if I'm going to be playing this game for a while, I should probably track down a detective's fedora. Or maybe not. I do have a... Yeah, it's tricky. I'll see what I can do. Oh, you just wanted to try it out? No, that's fine. I thought I'd try and find like a guilt-free way of letting people just say I'm too quiet, or I've accidentally left myself muted.
Don't go far. I might want to shout at you again.
I'm sorry, Luton.
Not sorry enough.
Not sorry enough. Hey, Mr. Wolfalot. Welcome in. How's it going? We're just playing Discworld Noir. And now you've introduced a way for chat to suggest you wear silly hats. I'll definitely take that constructive criticism in mind. About to run some errands? Oh, okay. Errands. I have silly hats? Do what? Yeah. I'll have to see. Mr. Wolflot, just let me know when you're leaving and I'll open a door so the dogs can come in and say hello. Scribblenauts hat. I think I gave it away. I don't know. I think I gave it to my brother or someone's younger child. Not sure. So I think we're... Oh, here we go. Tier 5. But yeah. Mario Bucks. Oh yeah, no, I've got that one. That's somewhere. I think I packed that away. Okay, so I've got a couple of silly hats, but nothing that's within arm's reach. So we've got crates. We can go around the back. I got you.
The watchman had a look of mad dedication about him. It was the kind of look that could only be achieved by someone whose job was so mind-numbingly tedious that their only pleasure came from being blisteringly unhelpful to everyone who came along.
Alright. So we've got some unhelpful conversation coming up.
I take it you're the watchman for this warehouse?
Wow, you're sharp. People never work that out. I mean, there are so many reasons that I might want to be out here on a pier in the middle of nowhere, but you went straight to the fact that I'm a watchman. Well done.
That's a real talent you've got there. It usually takes me much longer to take a dislike for someone. Let me guess. Not only are you the watchman for this warehouse, but you are so bored that anyone who comes along is a target for abuse.
You're good. I'll give you that. Sharp as a pancake. What brings you here?
Research. I'm on an investigation.
You with the watch?
No,
Nope.
I work alone.
So you're a criminal.
This is Ankh-Morpork. We're all guilty of something.
I'm not. Pure as the driven snow.
Oh, yeah? Well, you've just directly violated the patrician's laws about groundless metaphor.
What?
Well, can you prove to me that you're as pure as snow?
Ah, but that wasn't a metaphor. That was a simile.
Because, of course, the patrician is going to be swayed by a pedantic defense like that.
I guess you have a point.
I got you.
Have you seen any labels like this before?
Oh, sure.
Where?
On crates.
I have this inescapable feeling that I could try and get some useful information out of you about this, but that it wouldn't be worth the time and effort I'd have to spend on the way.
I'd go with that feeling if I were you.
This fucking guy.
Does this mean anything to you?
That's nothing.
Hat's outside my door. Thank you, I think. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back. Apparently I've got some funny hats. They're not really that funny. I got a normal everyday Australian hat. I don't want to ruin my hair. Yeah, so there you go. Pirate hat. I think I left the mic on mute then. Sorry about that. But yes, pirate hat. Okay, just gotta. I'll be back in one moment. I just gotta do something. Still here. Just being right back. Okay, I'm back again. Pirate hat is part of a costume Mr. Wolflot is making for Friends' three-legged greyhound. Yes, that's true. That's correct. Just need a King Graham Adventurous hat. I'll see what I can do. I'm not sure where I could find one of those. All I have is a derby hat. Derby hat? I feel like I am lacking in the hats department. That's alright, you can always build up from nothing. Probably. All of a sudden I feel a sense of shame for my pitiful hat collection. Thank you for the VIP. Oh, you're welcome, David. But I never know who to give VIPs to, because it's like, I feel like I want to give it to everybody, but then I'll run out of VIPs, but I don't want people to feel like they're missing out. I don't know. Anyway, you're welcome. So let's get back to this game. So we were just talking to a very annoying watchman. So we may or may not get much information out of him. Challenge accepted. Fair enough.
When I gave Mundy's description to the watchman, he became animated. Well, not that animated, but more animated than he had been.
That's the one. He tried to break into the warehouse the other night.
What?
You're sure?
Or maybe I just like stringing you along for fun.
What happened?
I scared him off. I'd like to know where he is now, though. It doesn't look good to have people get away with breaking into a place like this. Bad for our reputation.
Oh, I'm sure. Because everyone respects you, and this would just put a total stop to all those dinner party invitations.
Boy, watch it.
When I gave Mundy's description to the watchman, he became animated. Well, not that animated, but more animated than he had been.
Whoops. I think I've seen this one.
Or
What happened?
Sorry, I was just
I'd like to
adjusting
know
the
where he
audio for the
is
game.
now. It doesn't.
Oh, because...
Oh,
Let me know if it's okay.
Heard of the Milka?
Sure. Put it in my coffee,
It's a ship.
Yeah, I know.
Garth
Just
Marenghi's
winding
Place
you
is
up.
such a cool show.
Well, I'm already
If
about as
people haven't watched that
tightly
before,
wound as
you
I'm
should
going
definitely
to
check it out.
get. Unless you were planning to use me as an alarm clock, I'd start thinking about being cooperative.
Where's the fun in that?
The Milka?
Oh, yeah. All I can tell you is that they unloaded their cargo here.
What was their cargo?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that. That'd be violating Watchman cargo confidentiality.
There's no such thing.
Oh, all right. I just don't want to tell you then. Satisfied?
Ecstatic.
This is a very unhelpful Watchman.
What do you...
Sorry.
I feel like a lot of these are just going to be, I don't know this person.
Has there...
That.
I gave the... He did... Do you know...
Sorry, it's...
Doesn't know that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
Sorry.
Ugh. I don't think we're going to get much else out of him.
Do you know anything...
That's...
Do you know anything
You
about the
wouldn't happen to
mausoleum?
know your way around the Salaci family mausoleum by any chance?
That's nothing to do with me.
Alright, he was pretty useless.
I have a feeling I'll see you later.
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
The doors led into the warehouse itself, but the watchman wasn't about to let me in.
Damn Watchman.
I couldn't tell what the crates contained, and frankly, I didn't much care.
See. Hey, buddy. Oh, hello. Hello, Maxie. Oh, watch out. Is this, is Maxie? Hello, Maxie. How you going, buddy? Where you going, buddy? Good boy. Yes, you are. This is Maxie, everybody. He's a cute boy. He's a very good boy. Yeah, there's some Maxie emotes. Hey, buddy. Hello, Maxie. He loves butt scratches. Oh, hello. Maxie. Oh, yeah, good boy. Hello, good boy. Hello, Maxie. Oh, hello. Oh, he's over it. We should do a show. Yes, we should. That'd be cool. I don't know how we would arrange that, but yes. How's that? Pups and kitties? Yeah, I. How old is Maxie? Maxie's about 6 or 7 now. Ah, sorry, I should have gone the big old Sonnevel view, but next time. Yeah, he's about 6 or 7. Yeah, he's like kind of middle age for greyhounds. 8? Really? Okay. Thanks, Mr. Wafflet. I thought we got him when he was like 6ish, and I keep forgetting. Okay, so he's 8. Definitely halfway. And we've got Bindi Bindy's about 15, almost 16. No, that's alright. Please correct me. So here we go. So is there anything to look at here? Well, I think we were just there. Oh, yeah. Our kitties had their 5th birthday yesterday, and Coco's 20. 20 is that is amazing that's a very old cat. Max, what are you doing? Alright, buddy. Alright. Max is just sitting behind me. Ooh.
The River Ankh. Probably the only river in the universe on which you could chalk the outline of a corpse.
Skylight. I don't know how he can see this skylight.
The skylight sat on the roof, an inviting alternative entrance. The skylight... I wasn't the Disc's greatest climber, and the warehouse wasn't the easiest building to scale. I was going to need some help.
Okay. It's a Siamese cat that's always wanting my attention. He loves French fries and donuts, don't we all? And the vet says, besides some arthritis, he's perfectly healthy. Oh, yeah, our elderly greyhound Bindi, she's got a little bit of arthritis as well. But she also loves fries and donuts, so, well, anything really. Yes, she does get chicken nuggets. She loves them. My doggo turns 14 next weekend. Yeah, it's all we can do is sort of make them comfortable and give them lots of medication to help with the arthritis. 16. Yeah, oh, Bindi, yes. Okay. Seems to be the theme with elements. Give them greasy food and let it for yeah. Looks like someone's left a note for us.
The note had been pushed under my door by Carlotta.
Luton, I am anxious to see you again and to find out how the case is going. Come to the von Uberwald mansion on Moon Pond Lane. Carlotta von Uberwald.
So, Carlotta was a member of the von Uberwald.
A secret note?
One of the richest and most reclusive families in Ankh-Morpork. That explained why she could afford to offer to pay me so much. It didn't explain why she hadn't got around to paying me yet. But I could wait, at least until the rent was due.
Secret note. So apparently we've now got another location. We're filling up with locations. And I don't think I've been everywhere yet. Alright.
I already had a bad feeling about the Mundy case. But learning that my employer was a von Uberwald didn't fill me with confidence. I didn't know the facts about the von Uberwalds, but the rumors were bad enough.
May I help you, sir?
You could let me in for a start.
Very good, sir.
And don't call me sir.
As you wish, sir. May I take your coat and hat, sir?
Thanks, but no. I feel naked without them.
That must make it difficult to clean them.
Was that a joke?
I never joke, sir. It's not my job. I may lie, dissemble or deceive, but I never joke.
Look, I don't want you to take my coat, okay?
But of course, sir. Sir is welcome to drip all over the immaculate hardwood floor that I spent several hours polishing this morning, because Sir is a guest, and Sir is entitled to do whatever Sir wishes.
Damn straight.
Nice house.
Sir's taste in architecture must be quite exquisite, to so accurately summarize the many splendid cornices and archaic stained glass frescoes of this splendid Lorenzian building as nice.
You have a gift for making people feel welcome, don't you?
One is blessed.
Can we show off the invitation? I think that's what we'll need to show him.
Can you read this?
Sir has many questions.
Does
Sir has many questions.
I feel like I'm not going to get much from him.
I have an invitation from Carlotta.
Ah, Sir is as quick to reach the point of Sir's visit as a tortoise with a war wound is in crossing a very large desert. I will fetch Mistress Carlotta for Sir, provided Sir would be so kind as to wait here and not to touch the valuable and irreplaceable furniture that adorns the room Sir is currently dripping on.
I'll see what I can do.
Is that a sexy painting? It depends. Do you want it to be a sexy painting?
The painting bore a striking resemblance to Carlotta.
The Duchess Charlotte von Uberwald, née Leopoldine. My predecessor, in a sense.
Oh, are you a duchess?
No, but the resemblance is impressive, isn't it? My husband was struck by it from the moment I met him.
Where is your husband?
Dear Ulrich passed away during a civil uprising in Uberwald several years ago. Quite a terrible business, actually. Peasants, pitchforks, burning torches, the usual sort of thing.
Usual?
For Uberwald, certainly. Their ways may seem barbaric, but it's just the way things have always been done. If there wasn't a civil uprising every few years, I do believe the nobility would be most disappointed. Dying at the hands of a mob in a burning castle is practically traditional.
Tradition important to you, is it?
Ever the investigator, eh, Luton? Even your employer isn't beyond suspicion.
My old boss used to say that everyone was guilty of something.
And what are you guilty of?
Too many things, sweetie, but nothing you need to know about.
Sounds like we're in a conversation with Carlotta now.
You wanted to know how the case was going.
A girl's got to have hobbies.
I think I'm getting somewhere.
We're all getting somewhere, Luton. The question is, am I going to like where you're going?
I guess we'll just have to find that out the old-fashioned way.
That's me, an old-fashioned girl.
Like the girl in the picture.
The Duchess? She was quite a trendsetter in her era. She wore her dress so high, you could almost see her ankles.
My heart is pounding at the thought.
Oh my.
So what's the story with you and Ulrich?
Do you believe in love at first sight, Luton?
It saves a lot of time, certainly.
Ulrich fell for me the moment we met. I guess seeing that painting every day probably helped.
Don't sell yourself short. You have a few assets of your own. I'm sure it was an equitable transaction.
You think I married him for his money?
Did you?
Let me tell you something, Luton. I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is better.
Did you love him?
Does it matter?
It matters to me.
Maybe I did. I guess it depends on what love is.
Love is a moment of weakness that allows someone to hurt you more than you ever thought possible. Men were given the strength to be brutes to women, and women were given love to wreak their revenge.
Who was she, Luton?
Who?
The one who left you with such a high opinion of women. She must have been quite a gal.
I don't have much to tell you about the case, I'm afraid.
You still haven't found Mundi?
Not yet. I might do a better job if I had more money at my disposal.
Ah, yes, of course. You haven't been paid yet.
Well, it had crossed my mind.
I'm sure I could sort something out.
I didn't doubt that she could. The question was, would she? And more to the point, when would she? What can you tell me about the Duchess?
The Duchess Charlotte von Uberwald.
Knowing a little bit about her
Born
history. I
Charlotte
don't know if it's gonna be
Ameliorati
relevant.
Victoire Tangerine Leopoldine. She married the Duke when she was 13, which was the style at the time. She was considered a risque dilettante by most of the nobility of Uberwald, and rumors abounded that she caused the heart attack that killed the Marquis of Grand Mal when she showed him her naked knees. Her corset was said to be so tight that her first pregnancy went into extra time, and her first and only son had learned his first word by the time he was born.
You're
That's a
pretty
lot of
good
extra
on this
time.
family history business, then.
I dabble.
I can't remember. Did I show her these notes? No, I didn't.
Don't you think sending me a formal invite was a little over the top?
I got fed up of waiting for you to ask to see my house.
What's so special about your house?
It has me in it.
I'm so excited.
When I get excited about something, I give it everything I've got. I'm funny that way.
And what are you excited about?
Why, working with you, Mr. Luton. What else?
I never saw myself as the stimulating kind.
I have strange tastes.
Can you read this?
Let's try not to get too sidetracked, Luton.
Okay. Can you read this single digit?
Does this mean anything to you?
Let's try not to get too sidetracked, Luton.
Ugh. Okay. Let's try our notebook. We've got a whole bunch of notes to ask. Actually, she seemed pretty cluey about family history, so she might be able to answer questions about the mausoleum.
I need your help.
I'm not hard to get, Luton. All you have to do is ask.
I need your knowledge. I need to find a particular tomb in the Salaci mausoleum, but I don't know enough about genealogy. You do.
The Salaci mausoleum? That could be trouble.
Don't worry. I'm not going to mess with the tombs. I know better than to offend a family whose ties with the Assassin's Guild go back to its very foundation. I just want to see if someone's buried there.
Who's the stiff?
A troll named Therma.
A dead troll? You don't get much stiffer than that, I suppose.
Will you help me or not?
Of course, although I'm not really properly dressed for a mausoleum. You don't mind waiting while I get changed?
It's not like Therma's going anywhere.
If Sarah is not too busy, the master of the house wishes a word with you.
And if I am too busy?
The master of the house still wishes a word with you, and I shall be forced to beg.
That sounds like it could be fun.
Did I say beg, sir? I meant resort to violence.
In which case, lead the way.
What is going on? Violence, exactly.
Mr. Luton, as I understand it, my daughter-in-law has retained you to investigate a certain matter for her.
That's correct.
Then I take it you will be a frequent visitor to my house.
It seems likely.
Do you know who I am?
Nope.
I know that they call you the Count.
Do you know why they call me the Count? Because I am a Count. Count Henning von Überwald. One of the Blinks von Überwalds, I ought to add, because frankly, Überwald had an uncountable number of counts. And I'm trapped in Ankh-Morpork at the moment because my current infirmity prohibits me from leaving this room.
That doesn't explain why you wanted to see me.
I wish to know what my daughter-in-law has you investigating.
That's between me and her.
No, Mr. Luton. I rather suspect
I can sort of hear that.
You see, Carlotta's hands are not on the von Überwald purse strings, but mine are.
So you're saying I won't get paid unless I tell you what I'm doing?
No, I'm implying that. Whether or not you actually get paid is a different issue.
What's it to you?
I get very bored. I'm interested as to what goes on around me.
All right. I'm tracking someone for her.
Someone who is missing?
That's right. A man named Mundy.
Oh, I see. Very well. If you keep me informed on the progress of the case periodically, I will ensure that you receive payment.
Sweet.
So if I keep you informed on how the Mundy case is going, you'll ensure that I get paid?
As much as it is in my power to do so, yes.
And what if I mention this to Carlotta? Maybe she's got the money from other sources and doesn't need the family money.
A possibility. Very well. I'll offer to pay you irrespective of whether Carlotta pays you herself.
Double
That
pay.
seems a little unethical. I'd be betraying the trust of a client.
I'll pay you twice your usual fees.
Well, what do you know? Suddenly I've resolved all my ethical dilemmas.
Ethics are a salve for the poor, Luton.
I am the poor.
You sound as if you are proud of the fact.
The poor are often prouder than the rich. They know that what they have can't be taken away.
Why would anyone want to take their poverty away?
I didn't say the poor were smart, I said they were proud. You said you have to stay in the conservatory. Why?
I'm not a well man, Mr. Luton. It is hard to say how long I have for this world, or indeed if the next world will take me.
What's so special about the conservatory?
Ankh-Morpork is too hot and humid for my tastes. I had the conservatory built especially. It's colder than the rest of the house. I keep it at the temperature I feel most comfortable with.
Why so cold?
You ask too many questions.
I'm an investigator, it's my job.
Well, be thankful that I find your impertinence charming, or else I might be forced to teach you a lesson.
In your condition?
You would be surprised at just what I can do in my condition, Mr. Luton.
Bring it on, Mr. Count.
So the von Uberwalds are wealthy then?
Not compared to some, but we have more than enough to look after our own.
Is Carlotta one of your own?
When she married into us, she became a part of us.
You sound like you don't approve.
My opinions of Carlotta are not the issue. Traditions and ties of blood are stronger than opinions.
But there is no tie of blood between you and Carlotta. She married into the clan.
Mr. Luton, there are ties of blood between all the von Uberwalds. In Uberwald, blood is very important.
Very important. We're gonna... There's a lot of notes here. Let's start from the start.
What can you tell me about Monday?
I'm afraid I can tell you nothing.
Nothing.
But I would be interested in what you have to say about Monday.
Carlotta says he's an ex-lover and she suspects him of cheating on her.
And you believed her?
Whether I believe her or not is immaterial. Do you know anything about the Milka?
I'm sorry, but I don't get out of the conservatory much.
I get a feeling some of these are just going to be, I'm sorry, I don't know much.
Tell me about Carlotta.
I find it impertinent that you should ask questions so boldly of me.
You'll live.
It is fortunate that I find your manner amusing.
I guess this must be my lucky day.
Very well. Carlotta became a member of the family by marrying my son Ulrich, who is no longer with us.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he returned to Uberwald several years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was dead.
Oh, he is. And, alas, Carlotta is now part of my family, and I have a duty to protect her.
Why do you dislike her so much?
It is not something you should trouble yourself with.
Has there been a dwarf around asking
stranger?
questions?
I'm sorry.
Alright, a lot of this is going to be, I'm sorry.
These days, the only people I know are those who come to the mansion.
Yeah, and did he come to the mansion?
Do you know a big, dumb troll who goes by the name of Malachite?
Malachite. There's a name I have not heard in many years. Yes, I know of him.
How?
As it happens, he broke into this mansion several years ago and stole several valuable heirlooms that were never recovered. Incredibly, the City Watch was able to catch him before the Thieves Guild did, and he was imprisoned.
For some reason, I decided not to tell the Count that Malachite had escaped. I had a feeling the troll could still be useful to me. Maybe as a rockery one day. Do you know...
These days...
Do you know...
These days...
Nope.
Do you know any...
There are always murders in Uberwald. I don't see why these should be any different.
I was talking about the murders here in Ankh-Morpork.
Yeah.
Mr. Luton, I couldn't be less interested in the petty crimes of this wretched city.
So we asked about Malachite, Therma, Madame Lodestone.
Have you heard of a saint?
These days,
Nope.
Do you know the Salaci Mausoleum at all?
I'm aware of it.
Aware
The
of it?
Selaci family and the von Uberwalds do occasionally mix in polite society.
By polite society, you mean high society.
Well, certainly out of your reach.
Ouch.
Is there any chance you could show me around it?
Mr. Luton, there is little chance that I will leave this room for you or anyone else, let alone travel halfway across town to give you a guided tour of a mausoleum. Also, I confess, it would bring back happy memories of when I was dating.
You took your dates to a mausoleum?
Sometimes. Sometimes my dates lived in mausoleums.
Okay.
You dated the dead?
No. The
Outrageous.
undead. They can be terrible bores sometimes, but most vampires are terribly well bred.
I think that's. I can ask him about
So
himself.
you're a count.
I am the Count, yes.
What's it like?
It's fine. Although one does get the occasional burning desire to tear out the throat of people who ask too many questions. Do I have to draw you a picture?
That'd be a pretty awesome picture. Well, can you read any of this stuff?
Can you read?
I'm sorry.
Does
I'm sorry.
Carlotta sent...
What a fascinating thing to insert into an otherwise interesting conversation. Now, if you'll excuse...
Alright, fine.
I'll be back later.
Count
I
you later.
look forward to it.
Now let's get this straight. We're looking for a troll named Therma.
As far as I know, yes, but she may be in here under the name Madame Lodestone.
Okay, then we can rule out the Fornix Sanguis Ceruleus.
What?
The Blue Blood Vault. We can probably eliminate the heroic decapitated war veterans vault and the thoroughbred pet vault. Do you know what relation this troll had to the Selaci family?
Does there have to be one?
She wouldn't be buried here if she wasn't.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. It took Carlotta a while to work it out, but we eventually found a Madame Lodestone in the Fornix Familis, the servitor's vault. Guess she used to keep the floors real clean or something.
Here we are. Madame Lodestone.
There's an inscription. Madame Lodestone, singer and retainer of Lord Robert Salaci, taken from us when her house collapsed, returning her to the rubble from whence she came. Not much of an epitaph. Still, it's more than I expect mine will say. I'll probably end up with whatever's written on the cement bag round my feet.
Alright, so we've written down a note in our
Carlotta?
notebook.
Carlotta? She disappeared without even a word. I couldn't work that woman out. Still, she'd found me the tomb, which left me trying to decide whether or not to tell Malachite.
So what have we got? We've got an inscription. There's not a lot of interactable items I've noticed in this game.
There's an inscription. Madame Lodestone.
Alright, we read that one.
A heavy stone slab covered the tomb of Madame Lodestone, and presumably Therma's body was inside. I tried to move the slab, but it was far too heavy.
Not much.
I guess I could have taken a rubbing of the inscription if it wasn't for one thing. I didn't want to.
Okay. I guess that's it. Can we leave? Yes. So if we... Can we go back here now? Yes, we can. Okay, cool. So it's possible that maybe we need to get that troll guy, Malachite, to help move the slab. Alright, so has anyone else come back to our office? Doesn't look like it. Alright. So I've been to the wharf, been to Pier 5, Parrot, Yard, Mansion. Oh, okay. Workshop. Let's have a look here. Who is Roden? I forget. Maybe it's this guy. What is going on? What's up, dude? Alright. So we can go around the back. We can look at the statue.
All I knew about the statue was that it was a work in progress. At first glance, Roden looked like a typical sculptor.
Good
On
old
closer
industrial music, yes.
examination, I decided he was much less.
Would you say this is a bit of a banger? I'm sorry.
You wouldn't happen to be Roden, would you?
Ah, I know that one.
Leave now.
It's
Get
on the
out.
tip of my tongue.
Take your time.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
to repeat this.
I think I am Rodan. How can I be sure?
Beats me. I had a note from my mother the day they did philosophy at school.
You must conceive form in depth.
Why?
Do you know, I don't remember.
It figures.
I don't
What do you
remember.
make of this?
I stared at the statue he was working on. Face to face with art, we shuffle our feet and apologize. We say, I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. Well, most people do. I can't even say I know what I like. But that's not the point. The point is that if knowing what you like is good enough for shoes and drinks and women, what's wrong with applying the same rule to art? I guess people don't like to look stupid. Personally, I think art's for guys who couldn't do basic maths.
Do you like it?
Well, I don't know much about art. Sometimes I could be such a coward.
I've just realised the Luton's inner monologue is kind of a replacement for the footnotes in Discworld novels. But I don't if you haven't read much Terry Pratchett, he's notorious for putting like lots of little details in footnotes in his books. They're a bit tricky to get to in ebooks, but yeah, in the actual paperbacks, they're full of them.
So you're a sculptor then?
Yes. Yes. I'm reasonably sure I am. Something like that, anyway.
Why do I get the feeling that you aren't going to be much good at small talk?
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling too. Alright, let's see if we can blast through this conversation.
Can you read
Oh, this is very painful. You have to wait for him to stop using his statue. Alright, quick.
I don't know why I...
Alright, yep.
Does...
No! Oh, this is painful.
Rodan wasn't good at remembering detail.
Alright, let's say goodbye to Roden for now.
I guess you better...
And let's check out this nook. Hey, Malachite. Is that the only thing we've got? I think so.
Malachite was the biggest troll I'd ever seen.
What a
Actually,
troll.
Malachite was the biggest living thing I'd ever seen, and possibly the dumbest, too. You're a tough troll to find, Malachite. You could say something.
Come on, buddy.
Okay, so I'll do the talking. So how you been keeping, Malachite? Okay, I guess you don't want to talk about that. This where you're staying at the moment? I guess you're not going to talk about that either.
Dude.
Heard any good jokes recently? many trawls does it take to change a lamp wick? Want me to give you a clue?
No. So...
There didn't seem much. He wasn't. Frankly, it was looking like the only...
Okay. I think this whole case is collapsed down to his Therma is buried here. So this might be quick.
Well, I think I found Therma's body. It's in the Salachi Mausoleum.
Need to see body. Take me there.
Okay. Nice to see someone dealing with the grieving process at high speed. Cut straight to the acceptance. It saves a lot of time, doesn't it? I don't know why I bother sometimes. Not as if he's listening to me. Maybe it'd help if I hit him with something, like maybe a really heavy building.
Need to see body.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Here's the tomb.
Need to see body.
Hey, it's going to be pretty ugly in there. I mean, she was crushed under a house. That'd mess up even a trawl.
Need to see body.
Malachite pushed the slab off the tomb like he was opening a jam jar. Inside was some rubble that I assumed was Therma's body. Frankly, there wasn't much to go on. Trawls are rocks, and that's the whole story.
Not Therma. Keep looking.
Are you crazy? How could you tell?
Not Therma. Keep looking.
I was beginning to wonder if Malachite was mad. If he was, I could at least make use of it. Okay, I've got no soul. I must be a heel. All right, I'll keep looking. But I've got a problem. There's this building I need to get into, but I can't do it. I need a grappling iron. A grappling iron like the one you have. Look, I need to borrow your grappling iron. Do you understand?
Give you a hook.
How do we know he had a grappling hook?
Therma.
That's the deal. I couldn't help but wonder what it meant if that rubble wasn't Therma. Had Sapphire lied to me? I wouldn't be surprised. Frankly, I was more surprised by people telling me the truth than telling lies. Lies flow like water, but the truth burns. That's not a bad line. I better write that down. Malachite gave me the grapple and left the mausoleum without another word.
But again, how do we know he had a grappling hook? This is the first I'm learning of it. Oh well. Rubble.
The rubble was definitely the body of a trawl. But according to Malachite, it wasn't Therma's body.
Okay, so the case is not closed just
I
yet.
examined the body closely, but all I could see of interest were the trawl's diamond teeth glinting at me.
Oh, okay.
The glinting diamond teeth of the trawl seemed to lure me like a siren. Well, okay, so greed lured me like a siren. Either way, I really wanted one of those teeth.
Give me the teeth.
All my best instincts told me not to take the tooth, but I just ignored them.
Shiny. So I think that is very easy to miss. Okay. Ignore those instincts. Take the teeth. Alright, so now that we've got a grappling hook, we should be able to visit this skylight that we saw before. So I think grappling hook and skylight. Double click. Come on, buddy. You can do it. So we're still not sure how this is related to the main case. Just that we're exploring different nooks and crannies.
The skylight sat on the roof, an inviting alternative entrance.
Okay. Oh, that's me. Okay. So you should see this. So this screen probably looks dark. But I've got gamma correction on. I'm brightening it up. So this is what I see in my version. If I turn off color correction, it's like pitch black. Like you definitely need to yeah, increase the brightness in order to play this game.
The skylight sat on the roof, an inviting alternative entrance.
Can I open the skylight?
The skylight was locked tight.
You need that in your BG3 stream probably. Well, most in the Underdark at least. Yeah, most games they already have like brightness correction. But you can add a filter in OBS. You can add it to anything. So you can add a filter to the window capture or game capture. And the one I've added is I'm not clicking on the right thing. Hang on. So the one I added was color correction, and it gives you things like contrast, brightness, saturation, and stuff. But I just increased gamma a little bit. I could maybe get better color if I fiddled with the settings, but I didn't want to risk it. Oh, no, I don't want that. Good to know. Yeah, this is all in OBS, so yeah, I think if you're using OBS or Streamlabs, you probably got the same thing. So let's try this crowbar. It's always good to have a crowbar early on in an adventure game.
Breaking into the warehouse was easier than I thought, but then I was a natural pessimist. Living in Ankh-Morpork did that to a man. What little light there was in the warehouse was coming through the skylight, and shadows played on the walls as I searched for something to help the case. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I was desperate enough that anything would do.
So I'm guessing we have to pay attention during the lightning strikes to see something.
The warehouse was full of crates. I wasn't surprised. That's what the warehouse was for, after all. None of the crates seemed to be of much interest, though.
Alright, it's not crates.
The skylight had provided me an easy way into the warehouse.
So there's all crates. Oh, okay. Okay, so the thing here, it's very hard to see.
It looked like a matchbook. Even my paranoid mind couldn't come up with a reason not to pick it up.
So if we look at our inventory, we've got a matchbook here, and we've got a 6. That seems to be very similar. So can we use this? Oh, we can rearrange items. That is useful. So not a lot of games let you rearrange inventory items. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted to use it.
The scrap of cardboard I'd found on the Milka matched the torn matchbook exactly.
Ooh. Can we look at this?
The reconstructed matchbook clearly read 9 Whalebone Lane.
I'm guessing that's an address of some kind. So can we exit? Hopefully we can. Maybe I just have to use the skylight. Yep. So where is this place? What's this guy? Does this guy know anything about it?
Hello again.
What's up, dog?
Here we go.
We just met. We just literally met before.
Any thoughts on this matchbook or what's written on it?
Ooh. That's familiar.
Rodan wasn't good at
my
remembering.
God. Yeah, okay, this guy's terrible. See you later, buddy. Cafe Ankh. I don't remember, I don't think we could talk to the pianist here. He always says, like, leave me alone, I'm busy.
I decided not.
Yep.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Hello yourself.
Do you know anything about this?
Any thoughts on this match?
Alright, you're useless too. Oh, let's ask him about the...
I wasn't about to flash the stolen tooth around. Someone might tell Lord Salachi, and the next thing I knew I'd have a blade in my back and a receipt from the Assassin's Guild on my bedside.
Okay. Who knows about the matchbook?
Hello again.
I take it Sir still does not wish for me to
Leave my
No.
coat.
Very
alone.
good, sir. Please feel free to continue to damage the priceless hardwood floor.
Do you know where this is?
Any thoughts on this matchbook or what's written on it?
I'm sorry. I cannot assist.
Alright.
Nice house.
Sir's taste in architecture must be quite ex-
You have a gift for making.
One.
Alright. Thanks,
I'll be
Butler.
back. I bet you can't wait.
Indeed. My anticipation.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
and
yeah.
polish that floor, will you?
Oh. Oh, I can walk around. Okay. This is interesting. Does that mean I can talk to what's-her-face?
I confess, I was consumed.
Oh. Can you walk up the staircase? Ah!
I'll say this for the von Oberwalds. They had class. There weren't many homes in Ankh-Morpork with a window that could take your breath away. Well, maybe in Unseen University. But I'd heard that they had windows there that could literally take your breath away.
Right. Does it? Oh, did you see that? The butler disappears when there's lightning. I can't tell if that's an intentional effect or not. Bits about the mausoleum. Hey, Nobby.
Hello again.
Can you tell me
Hello.
anything about this matchbook?
Any thoughts on this matchbook or what's written on it?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Nobby. So we're just at Pier 5. Wharf, maybe? Hey, okay.
Still here?
Not for much longer, I hope.
Any thoughts on this matchbook or what's written on it?
Sorry, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Wouldn't know anything about that. Can we talk to this guy now? Or is he still not got a voice?
Something told me I wasn't going to learn anything useful.
What are we missing? Try the parrot again? That was where the, what's-her-face was.
I couldn't imagine who would pay attention to the...
What's Menken got to say?
I'm back.
So I can see.
Wait a minute.
This seems like a nice place.
No, it doesn't. It seems like what it is.
It's...
Okay,
you
we've
could...
heard this.
You
Yep, yep.
you look at it.
I can't...
Alright, do you know
Do you
this?
know what this is?
It's a matchbook.
Yep.
Any reason it might have the address of the parrot written on the back?
None that has anything to do with me.
I knew he was hiding something. The question was, how could I get it out of him? I'm against unnecessary violence. Besides, these skinny types can be tougher than they look. Have you always owned the parrot?
No, it used to be a troll bar. I took over the place. Did you keep
we heard
sure
this.
with this? Or did you only
It's not often I...
be on?
Yep,
No,
he's half elf,
what?
I don't.
but he doesn't get the good bits
that's
of being an
every...
elf.
Oh,
I don't like.
I'm not... So you don't know Mundy?
I've already told you that I don't.
And this matchbook means nothing to you?
Do you practice to become this irritating?
Well, I'm confused. You see, this is Mundy's handwriting on the matchbook, and this is your address he wrote. Shall I tell you what I think?
I don't think I have
How
that
do we know
much
it's Mundy's
choice.
handwriting?
I think Mundy is here, but he told you not to tell anyone that he's here.
You're just making it up as you go along.
Well, I could always go and fetch the watch. I heard they were looking for Mundy too, and if he's not here, you wouldn't have to worry about being charged with hiding a known fugitive. They can get so impatient.
Mundy's not a fugitive.
How would you know? You little...
All right, you win. He's upstairs.
Uh-huh.
Don't tell him I told you.
I wouldn't dream of ruining your reputation in high society.
And I think we asked him about Sapphire.
Tell me about Sapphire.
Why don't you just talk to her yourself? Just don't bother her.
Yeah. Okay.
Until...
She's not there. So, did he say there was an exit somewhere? Oh, right. Okay, here we go. Another cutscene.
I'd gone to a lot of trouble to find Mundy, and now the goal was in reach. It seemed like an anticlimax. I couldn't quite see what Mundy was doing when I entered his room, and seconds later I couldn't see anything at all.
What?
The last thing I saw as I passed out of consciousness was the floor rushing up to meet me.
Whoops. Uh-oh. Act 2.
By the time I came around, the watch had arrived. I must have been unconscious for hours, maybe days. I thought no one could feel as bad as I did, until I saw Mundy. His feet were bound and his eyes had been gouged out. Either he died of massive blood loss, or he'd spilt an awful lot of red wine. It wasn't going to be a good day, I decided.
Going somewhere, Luton? You don't leave until we've finished with you.
You know where my office is. If you want an interview, you can find me there.
I consider you to be the prime suspect in this investigation.
You've got to be kidding.
I've never been more serious.
Never? What do you want with me? I was unconscious throughout the whole incident.
We only have your word for that. You could have killed Mundy and then knocked yourself unconscious.
With what?
Your wedding. You're pretty serious then.
What?
Yes, Nobby. Now shut up.
Will you explain what
Nobby.
you think I did?
You came in, mutilated Mundy, and then knocked yourself unconscious.
Is that all?
There's your promotion, too. You were really serious then.
Nobby, you've made your point, thank you. Shut up.
How did I knock myself unconscious?
I don't know yet. But you're not a complete fool, Luton. You'd have found a way.
Do you have any evidence against me, or is this just part of your ongoing campaign of victimization?
It's just, you're always kind of serious.
You were present at the time of the murder. Your rope was used in the murder.
My rope? The murderer steals from me, and suddenly I'm guilty of murder?
It's not a bad thing. I mean, you're the commander of the watch, and that's a serious job.
Then there's the victim's message.
Azil? How does that incriminate me?
It ends in L-E. He could have been trying to write Luton. He could have died before he could finish.
He could have been trying to write lemon. And what is Azzy supposed to mean?
I was only trying to help.
For all we know, Azzy might mean it was in Mundy's own language.
For all we know, Azil might mean, help, someone has gouged my eyes out. You're just guessing. There must be other suspects.
The landlord says no one went upstairs after you.
It could be the landlord for all you know.
Mankin.
Azzy
He's not the type.
lesbians.
Anyway,
Yeah,
he
that could
reported
be
the
right.
incident to us.
Listen, You've got nothing on me, and unless you're going to arrest me, I'm going to leave.
I'm keeping an eye on you, Luton. Consider yourself a suspect for all the counterweight
Just
killings.
all the
If you're in
killings.
any way involved, I'll find out. Don't leave town, Luton.
He's really got it in for me, hasn't he?
He's not a bad person, Luton. He's just a bit...
Psychotic? Obsessed? Judgmental?
I was going to say overworked. I've changed my mind.
What's this about counterweight killings?
Well, and this is in the strictest confidence.
I won't tell anyone who doesn't talk to me.
The murders have all been a bit, well, odd, redualistic.
What? They are involved with a revival of philosophical principles concerning the division of reality into two independent forces, mind and matter?
No. Redualistic. Like what cults do. Reduals.
Ritualistic. I see. Like someone was trying to make a point.
Yeah. One of the patrician's clerks was killed the other day. Very suspicious.
Why the counterweight killings?
I'd better not discuss that. Gotta go. See you later, Luton.
A lot later will do.
A lot later. Yay, got the grappling hook again. So what have we got? We got a bed.
The bed looked neither comfortable nor inviting.
Can we use the bed?
It hardly seemed worth searching the bed. The watch had already searched it, and frankly, it was a pretty nasty bed.
Painting.
It seemed to be a cheap copy of Spinner's Rain, Cream, and Speed. I could tell it was art, because I couldn't make out what it was supposed to be. I couldn't think of a good reason to steal the paint. Someone, either the killer or Mundy, had written Azil on the wall in blood. Mundy's blood, presumably. I had no idea what it meant. If I had an iconograph, I could have taken a picture of the message. But I didn't have one. And even if I did, there didn't seem much point. I didn't want to become too reliant on technology.
Mundy's corpse. Oh, hang on.
Mundy's corpse wasn't very attractive. I wasn't looking forward to telling Carlotta how Mundy died.
So can we search
There
it?
was nothing on Mundy's...
Okay.
Mundy's killer had tied his legs together with my rope. It was bad enough that he stole my rope without implicating me in a gruesome murder at
that's
the
my
same
rope.
time. Nothing. There should have been something in the boots, only there wasn't. I was pretty sure that the watch didn't search them, and that didn't leave many options.
No. That is very hard to see.
Looking closely at the frayed rope hanging from the rafters, I knew that Mundy had been tied up by the legs and then hung from the ceiling. I didn't know why. Frankly, I wondered if I really wanted to know why. Something very strange was going on.
Can I grab it?
I didn't want to tamper with the evidence. Besides, there wasn't enough rope there to do me any good.
Okay. Can we... Afraid of rope. So I think this is where we start
The frayed
combining
rope in the
clues.
rafters was the same as the rope around Mundy's legs. The rope that used to be tied to the grapple. That had to mean that Mundy was hung upside down and then killed. And that meant someone cut him down after he was killed. Curiouser and curiouser. I'd learnt that...
So...
They say that the universe is full of particles called inspirations. One of them hit me at that moment because I suddenly realized something that should have been obvious. If Mundy was hung upside down, and if Mundy wrote the message, then the message was upside down. Turning it around in my head, I could see that it read 3712V. It wasn't a meaningless word after all. It was a meaningless combination of letters and numbers instead. Somehow that seemed much, much worse.
Meaningless numbers. Exactly. Exactly, Repeated Ghost. Well, I think we had a good run today. Let's just see what's going on here. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to save the game. Meaningless numbers. Game saved. I feel like I had a good run. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to do the same. Yeah, it's a good run. It's a good 3-hour stream. But you're about to head to bed, get some sculpting done. But you did get some sculpting done. That's good to hear. And thanks for hanging around and watching. Yeah, I think I'm liking from what I remember from Discworld so far. It's been like a few years since I played it, so I'm kind of, yeah. So I think probably another 2 streams. Anytime. Oh, it is appreciated to have people hanging around and watching. Let's see if this works. Yep, cool. Okay. Hey David Alexander, also thank you for watching. Anytime watcher. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Also everyone else, have a good night. Cool. So we're rating a streamer called Tarugia. She's currently playing Stardew Valley, but she does things like plays like Fallout, and she plays like point and click adventure games as well. I think I first started watching her when she was playing Down Under Dan, which is a terrible adventure game set in Australia. And yeah, she's definitely very cool, David. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's been pretty good. We got through a section of the Discworld Noir. I hope everyone's enjoying it so far. Thanks everyone for watching. Oh yeah, raid message. If you're not subscribed, that's totally cool. Just write Sonbell says hello. If you are, maybe just say Sonbell says hello with some dog things. It's good to listen to. Oh, I'm glad I'm not too annoying. Thank you, Sunfat. Thank you for hanging out and watching. Hope Discworld was good. Yeah, just go and say hello. If you wish. She's pretty cool. Give her a follow if you haven't before.